near, then
One
I'm
more.
looking weird.
One more.
So, but I notice if I look at the glass or even the camera, the box, then it looks like I'm looking straight. So I'm not going to look at the camera. Took me 6 shows to figure this out.
I like your beard, Kenny.
I know, right?
Thank you. I forgot the color. I don't like gray.
Well,
Don't like it.
okay.
Everybody try to cheer me up. Oh, that's wisdom. Okay, let me have wisdom with color.
Okay.
He said he has Beijing.
Uh-uh.
You don't do Beijing?
This is red hot rhythm.
Red hot.
Me too.
What about purple? I was thinking of going purple.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, listening. Come on.
Come on, Nicole. They getting ready to start.
Yeah.
Thank you, my love.
Hi, everybody! We are All House. The Bstar Music presents We Are All House here live and direct from the Funktion House. How you doing, as Wendy Williams would say. I forgot to do my wrist, but I think I would just do the snap and a clap. How's everybody doing in the house today? We're here to have an awesome show here today. We have two legends, icons, I would say, in our music industry. They've been here, I want to say now, if I'm here 34, I know Keith alone has got to be here maybe 35, 36 years old. Not age-wise, but how he's been here, right? And then Kenny Bobien, even if he came onto the house scene, not exactly on, he was doing so many other projects, R&B, gospel. So these two men are icons and someone to listen to concerning business in music. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, to my right, your left, Keith Thompson. Break for love, baby. And to my left, your right, we have Kenny Bobien. Yes. You know, you guys are so busy. And it wasn't so easy to get you here, but I understand. I understand an artist's schedule, but there are no accidents, we say, because this is the week of Thanksgiving, and it's no better way to present it than with Kenny Bobien singing all his gospel house hits, amen. And then, of course, you're the liberator. You need to do more liberation songs because, you know, my favorite, though people feel that their stuff is Break for Love, mine is It the Way? Because being a writer, I listen to the artist. I don't listen how you sing it and how you bring it, but I'm listening to what God is giving you, the message. And I'm going to start with you. Is It the Way, for an example? How did that come about?
I was watching actually, was it Paris Burning? Is it called
Paris is Burning?
Yeah.
Ah.
And we once spoke about Willie Ninja and just how loving he was. And every time I met him, he was always just really nice to me.
Okay.
And some, you know, not to get too serious, but there was some racist incidents happening around the city and in the village. And I thought, like, is it the way we walk? Is it the way we talk? I mean, what makes them attack, like, a person who they assume is gay or whoever? Like, what is it that makes people hate so much? So I started breaking it down, you know, how we walk, how we talk, how we love, what is it? Because, I mean, it makes no sense.
If people get a chance to listen to that, please do listen. The first time I heard it, oh my goodness, I'm like, wow, this is so true. And know this also, no topic is too deep. We are all adults, we're spiritual beings.
Exactly.
And the thing about being an artist, they're supposed to reflect the time. A real artist, because we learned that from the artists that preceded before us, that they write, whether it's a Nina Simone or even down to an Aretha Franklin saying respect, we're supposed to reflect the times. Yeah. So this is good that God brought that message through you. I love have any of you heard this song, Is It the Way? Yeah. I love this. I love it because it is a sad thing that you cannot be creative. God created us to be expressive. This is just the way we roll from the days of Africa. We're creative, whether it's the kunte, whether it's the cloth, whether it's the bantu braids or what have you. We're just creative. And my thing is, it's okay for people to be creatively you. Be creatively you and express yourself. Because normally you go through expressions because what I've expressed today might not be what I've expressed 15 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're always transforming in a way, and it's all good. But unfortunately, we tend to be in the world that people are scared of. Is it the way I look, my skin? Is it the hair? Is it too strong for you? Is it too dark for you? Is it too black for you? You know, it's okay because God created color. Because I'm sure when he did his tapestry in the sky, it just wasn't black. Of course, the darkness covered the face of the deep, but there became color.
Yeah, it's a rainbow.
There became the rainbow. What a rainbow, this is what we're told. The rainbow only came as a reminder to God not to destroy the earth by water again. It wasn't about, it's a gay pride thing. Yeah. It came so that God reminds himself for the world, I will not destroy you by water.
Covenant, right. That's
Amen.
right.
So that you must, but it's all good. You know, Kenny. What can we say?
Sweet
Kenny,
voice Kenny.
First of all, you started off when you transcended into house with CC Rogers. Is that true? Or were you doing house before him?
I was actually doing house before him.
Okay.
Because I was working with Fly Guy Productions. If you know them, they did Keisha Jenkins, Pam Russo.
I need somebody. Oh my God,
Eddie
where is
Stockley.
Oh, where is she at?
And
Your lawyer used to always play this.
yeah, she's still around. She's living in Atlanta.
Really?
She's still singing, working on a new project.
Well, Keisha, I know you're a
Preaching.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you
she's
know
a
what?
preacher.
We still got Gospel House.
Yeah.
For those artists who feel I'm totally in the church community, and that's okay, but you still feel the beat because you know you come out of house and the beat starts with us. Come on through. Do some Gospel House with us. We got the king of Gospel House right here, you know. So, and then tell us about this journey.
When I started out with Fly Guy, and I worked on Keisha did I Need Somebody, and she was on Profile Records with Corey Robbins, who was owning Profile at the time.
Oh, wow.
And you know, they had Judy Torres and all those people like that.
Yeah.
And we did backgrounds on that stuff. And Eddie Stockley, who was on 4th and Broadway, Pam Russo, and Keisha Jenkins and myself, we were all signed to Fly Guy Productions. So we were doing all the backgrounds.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for them and anybody that they produced. Like they did Hunter Hayes, Tana Gardner, you know, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, you know.
This is somewhat like was this a major label?
Well, they worked with all labels. Fly Guy Production was a production company
Production
that did production
That's
deals.
awesome.
Right.
But you two at the same time were on major labels.
Yeah, I was.
Not many house artists get that opportunity to be signed to a
That's
major
true.
label.
Yeah. My first deal was with Warner Brothers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Benny Medina signed me to Warner
Benny
Brothers.
Medina.
Yeah.
Benny rejected
Benny
me.
Mike is going in and out.
Yeah.
Benny rejected
And
me.
that was the time
He
when
rejected you because you wasn't Will Smith. He only needed one Will Smith.
you are crazy.
You know, it's all good.
No, but I got signed to Columbia, then Capitol, so yeah, it was all good.
3 major labels?
Two
major labels?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
You
Tell
were
us.
on Columbia?
Yeah.
So was I.
Wow. That's what we call label.
Exactly.
Tell us about the benefits of an artist being on a major and why, or should they, in this day, should they target, or should that be the target? Is it worth it?
You want to hit that? 'Cause
No, yeah, I will.
I can say a lot about that.
Yeah.
Well, both of you.
In the past, it was a benefit because they had the machine, all right? The publicity machine, the marketing, distribution, media. Today, they have the machine, but they don't have a market, all right? So now they have universal deals where they want your publishing, they want your rights, they want, it's universal, everything. Your, what is it called? Your marketing, your merchandising. In the past, they only wanted your music. Now they want everything.
They call them 360 deals.
360 deals.
360
exactly.
deals.
So I don't think it's that advantageous to be on a major today. Get a good production deal, management, an agent, and get good music and go out there. In the past, yeah, it was beautiful. I felt like a king back then. But
and how do you feel about it?
And I agree. I think everybody's objective was to be on a major. But here's how I seen it. Being in the background, I felt, gave me an advantage because I am, I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay.
So I watch, I listen, I look, I see, and I learn, from being in the background. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know what the machine means, but the only thing that I saw that gave you the advantage with the major label was the money. Was the upfront money. Most of the time when you did major deals, that upfront money was it.
The advance.
You know what I'm saying? You could get
Which
back
was
then.
yours.
Yeah, back then, $250,000, $500,000 was great upfront money. But I want to say this: an independent label can do just as much as a major.
Okay.
When I saw what happened with Beautiful People, with Strictly Rhythm, and I saw what happened with some of the label mates at Warner Brothers and some of the people that had major labels, immediately I realized it had nothing to do with the label or the name. It had everything to do with the people who was behind
it.
Yes.
And I guess that's what you mean by machine.
But that was a system. Well, even that was a system. Even though I did it here, and it was supposed to be just a dance record, what happened is, okay, this mic, it feels like it's going in and out. I can't hear.
It does.
Can you hear me? Okay, so out in the audience, you all hear me well.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep talking. Yeah. So what happens is you have a label who associates with a major label. That's the thing. It went over
subsidiaries,
and it was a part of EMI. Yeah. And EMI had a dance division called Positiva. Yeah. And so because their machine, I'm going back to that word machine, they had a machine. So they also, they had to get a remixer that knew how to feed their people over in Europe. And that is CJ McIntosh. And his version is the one that got me on Top of the Pops, sitting next to Elvis Costello.
And they got behind it, and they
pushed
it.
That's
they
the
do a
machine
video.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
So that is a machine, and it's nothing wrong with a system because if we have independent labels and we do nothing with it and we just do it and it's on track source, it not necessarily is going to do anything.
No.
And just like that, you have people who have been on major labels and you've never even heard of them.
Oh, yeah.
They put records out, and you don't even know. You're like, oh, you were on what? You was on RCA. I never even heard of you.
The thing is, still, they have a machine, but maybe that's the C machine. It might not be the A machine. They were still there because then they have all these views. They have all these, they're doing tours. There's a machine. They're still out there. They might not be the headliner, but they're opening on festivals, tours, or things like that. So you still want to weigh this. So basically, let's get to the point of an artist and their mindset of business, and where the creativity part falls. Because I always say I always say the singing is at the bottom. Because if you have no management, if you have no structure, you don't have a look. Because I'm sure if I take 5 people in this audience and they didn't tell me they were singers and I start producing stuff on them, they can sing. But what is going to make the difference between a singer and an artist? What you hear where I'm going? You know what I'm talking about, Rory.
Yes.
Because it's just not a voice. It's the whole package. This is a business. So tell us about what you would tell an artist.
I would tell an artist to project your personality. If you have a drive to project what you want to sing, what you want to write, make sure you're projecting that to its fullest. It may not be appealing to the public, but once you're true to it, then that's you as an artist. A publicist and an image maker can help you hone it down to polish it more, to be more presentable, but you have to first have that drive to know what you want to say, what you want to do, and project, and be true. Back to that Betty Medina thing, when I met with him in a hotel room with my manager.
You had a manager, though.
I had to say that, in a hotel room, but it was with my manager. He wanted a certain image that I wasn't projecting. And at first I took it personally, but I realized, I can't be what he wants me to be.
And
I'm going to be me. And it's okay. And I got signed to EMI later on. Because I wanted to do house and reggae and R&B. I wanted to be three-dimensional. I didn't want to just be the black guy singing R&B. That was played out for me.
So there was a lot of creativity in you, and you wanted to express it all.
So
and
you
not
have
be
to project
locked in.
that. You have to project that to get that.
Yes, because this is interesting because I wasn't sure, and I saw you years ago at the Palladium. I was high. I think I might have been with Lloyd going to see you were performing, and I said "Break for Love." I couldn't tell if that was a house song, because there was a certain point
it was
before
unique.
it really crossed over. Because even when I did, like Aaron Lloyd, he did "Set It Off," you know, the promotional strafe, and I did the female version, "Set It Off," and but I couldn't tell what. It's like Anthony in the Camp.
Oh yeah.
You know, you don't know where that
It was his club,
It's
his
the
club.
It was a borderline of club or house. I'm not even quite sure. And that came out in '84. So what did you call yours?
It was house.
It
By
was
that time,
house.
it was house. It was different, but it was house.
But
Jersey,
Old House was different then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And what
Old
would you
House
tell
was
artists?
different. Old House was different. You know, I'm kind of
For the artists.
yeah, I'm kind of a cynic when it comes to this industry because of the things that, like, you know, as I was saying before when I was talking about the difference in the major and the independent and being the machine.
Yes.
I for one, I tell artists. In fact, I have my own label with Sony Orchard now, and I just signed a new artist, and I was explaining to her that.
Wait,
hits-
excuse me. You just said you have a new artist?
Yes, I signed a label.
Okay, because I was scratching my eye and I got distracted.
Yeah.
Well, give
What's
it
her
up.
name?
Yeah, I
Get it
signed
over.
it.
You
Yeah.
have this
To
is
my
awesome.
new label. My
And what's your
label
label?
is
Orchard?
Soul Art Music
Soul
Group.
Art Music.
Music
Awesome.
Group, and it's distributed through Sony Orchard.
That's awesome.
And I signed a young lady. She's working on a gospel project. But we were talking about the industry. We were talking about music, and I explained to her. I said, "Listen, hits are not created. Hits are made. Great songs are created.
Thank you.
Hits are made. You don't have a hit until you get a good machine or someone behind it to push it,
Say that.
to promote it,
Say
to
that.
market it. That's what make hits.
That's what
great
makes hits.
songs are given all the time,
Yeah,
but just
yeah,
because
yes,
you have a great song doesn't
So
mean it's going to
good.
be a hit.
No.
You understand?
so
You have
good.
I think that's the point I
You
was
could
trying
buy
to
a
get
hit.
to. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be.
Tell the kids
Yeah.
you can buy it because it is a machine.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I had to realize that even as an artist
yeah.
because I was like, oh no, I want to write my songs because back then songwriting was you made so much money from songwriting, you know, ASCAP, BMI, and I was like, I gotta write my song. Now I got to the place I was like, I wouldn't care if Curious George wrote that. As long as it's a hit, I want it.
Yeah.
You know. So I told her, I said, you have to understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to understand who you are. They want to know who you are. They want to know what you're doing. You have to portray that in what you do.
Exactly.
And, you know, being an artist, not like it was before. You said house was, like you said before, house was so different. I was listening to 10 City on Top 40 Radio.
Yeah.
They were on heavy
Yeah.
rotation
But
all
they were
day.
also on a major label.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
exactly.
there were other, like Keisha was on heavy rotation. I Need Somebody was on Profile.
Yeah.
I heard it all day
label.
on BLS on
Backroom
98.7
Boy, yeah,
Kiss.
Backroom Productions,
You know, because we had those, when you got behind it, when
Yes,
you put out
yes.
you, look
Chomanda.
at you.
Chomanda.
You know, when I
Yes.
first met you, I went bananas. I did. When I first met you, I met bananas. I was working with Glenn Toby. I was doing something with him.
Big shout out to my manager,
And
Glenn
Jack-
Toby,
yeah.
CEO, Book
And-
Bank.
And
Yes.
Jay Williams was in the studio, and you walked in, and I was like, "Who's that little lady right there? Who's she?" They said, "That's Barbara Tucker." I was like, "Ah!" And see, I
Little
wasn't.
lady, yeah, that's me.
I was the kind of person I wouldn't. I didn't want to act starstruck,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just stood there staring at her. I don't even know if she noticed, but I just stood there staring at her. But I told Crystal, I said, "Listen, you know, you remain humble. You keep God
Amen,
first.
amen.
You know, and you want to show them who you are, and you want to portray that, and you want what you do, your experience through your music,
Yes.
to be able to touch somebody
Yeah.
else.
That's
you know?
it.
And so I'm kind of cynical when it comes to that whole major label thing, because I was back there then.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to do. Initially, I never wanted to do house. That wasn't my dream. My dream was to be the next Luther Vandross.
It
That was my dream.
Well, you sound like a balladeer. Even
Yeah.
in your house stuff, you
Yeah.
sound very
Yeah, I
balladeer.
wanted to do
The way
ballads.
everything elongates when you sing. Yeah.
It happened. It just happened that way.
Yeah,
When
God
we
said
did,
we needed you.
yeah,
We
yeah.
needed
It did.
you
It happened that.
on
It
that
literally
side.
happened that way.
And this is okay. This
Yeah.
is totally okay. So I'm so happy that you're doing the label thing, and you are still pushing it.
Yeah.
Still pushing it. Are you producing anyone, writing for anyone as well?
No, I'm not producing anymore. I mean,
Anymore?
Anymore, no. Back from say 2000 to 2016, I had a label I was doing. I introduced, believe it or not, Black Coffee to America. His first
Wow.
record was called
Didn't
Music.
know that.
The label was called Waking Monsters. So I was really into South African music, and from 2005 to 2010 was releasing all that material. The whole Afro thing wasn't even popular yet.
Wow.
So I guess I was slightly ahead of my time, but that's fine. And then I just moved on to start doing more of my productions and getting out there and doing more kind of pop club stuff. You know, that EDM stuff. We did some mixes where
It's okay.
some of that stuff had to get out
You're
there to
an
make some
artist.
money. Yeah.
You're an artist.
That's amazing
I
that
did some
artists-
stuff.
That's
in
amazing that
France
artists are the
and-
catalyst for people, because there's a
Exactly.
lot of people that we would have never heard of if it wasn't for you,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it wasn't for,
Yeah.
and a lot of those people now, we see them, they're huge now. They're
Exactly.
Like, oh, yeah, I heard them when Barbara brought them to Sound Factory. They didn't
Yeah.
even have a record deal. back
or
then.
Winter Conference
what I'm
or
saying?
wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Big shout out to Don Welch and the Underground Network, because that was a
forum.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a
great forum.
platform that
Yeah.
still is not existing right now, because we
Nah.
only do spot dates. That Don's concept was purposely to bring house artists and introduce them,
Yeah,
showcase
yeah,
them,
yeah.
Yeah.
showcase new DJs,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was.
But you've been consistent still.
Yeah.
yeah,
Even
we
with
do
your
the
and
spot
let the
for-
singers be heard.
yes.
Yeah, that's
you
what I'm
you've
saying.
you have always been consistent in that market, Barbara.
Yeah.
To,
'Cause it's
to give a
important
platform for people.
Because
you
people
know?
keep thinking I'm a singer. That's
Right.
just what I do. I'm not a singer.
Right.
I like to stage. I like to manage. I like to book. I like to empower. I like to mentor artists. And I realized when I started going to the Winter Music Conference, I always had a stage, but a lot of my friends did not know about the conference, who were singers. They were not going, and they were looking for, or they might have
Right.
been looking for payment to go. And I'm like,
Right.
no, this is a place you go to sow your seed. That
Exactly.
means your talent.
Absolutely.
Because there's a network of people.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, nobody gives it to you.
Right.
You create it.
So true.
I'm coming from that Zoe ministry
So
thing
true.
of we are creators. Because creators will always be grabbing. But
You gotta sow the
creators are
seed.
like, I am my Father are one. We're going to make this thing happen. And that's what I believe, because all of us artists, everyone who's an artist, any form, when you look back, if you don't see somebody behind you the next, then you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
Nope.
Exactly.
That
Because
is so
what are we
true.
just going to go and die off? Do you
That's
ever
so
think
true.
I know.
what
Yeah.
will happen
What are you gonna
when
leave
we're
behind?
gone?
Yeah,
Who's
exactly.
behind us?
Exactly.
How is house going to keep going unless we duplicate ourselves, not necessarily the sound,
Oh, yeah,
but duplicate our energy and our knowledge of house, what we do, or how do you help them? We got to help them.
Whenever I
and speaking
see-
about that, you guys are singing with us at the second annual We Can Heal House Choir
Yeah.
at 310 Riverside Drive, the fundraiser for the Book Bank Foundation. And I love my house community. I love my brothers and sisters. And somebody said once, do you all get along? I forgot who asked me that about house singers. I said, of course.
We're a
How
family.
How do you not get
Yeah,
along
we're
when
a
the songs
family.
are saying lifted and hope and unity?
Exactly.
Our lyrics are pushing love.
Yeah.
So that spirit of
We're a
that thing is
family.
around it. But I thank God for all of you, because when I ask you to be a part of something for humanity, because we're raising money and awareness for the Book Bank Foundation to take us around from 7 to 10 shelters, how our time goes, so we can bless people with toiletries, because women need this. Do you ever think when a
Yeah.
woman is homeless on the street,
Wow.
she needs something?
Yeah.
Did you ever think of that?
Yeah.
So to men, the coats, the clothing,
Clothing.
ministry, inspiration. So we say to you, even if you are saying, what is this? You can be a part of it. You can show up on December 13th, 310 Riverside Drive, and come and be a part of it, because there'll be 24 of us singing that day. House artists singing the song Live, Dream,
that
Hope,
session was
and
great,
Love.
wasn't it?
The session
Awesome
was
song.
Amazing.
awesome.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big shout out to
Absolutely
Georgie Porgy,
amazing.
Dr. Glenn again.
David
Bobien.
Bratton.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Del-
so
Ranger,
many
that's the
people.
Ranger,
you know David Bratton.
Yeah, I know David.
God, he's
This,
arranged
for those of you who don't know David Bratton, he just received an award for the Song of the Decade
Yeah.
for Every Praise.
Congratulations,
is to
brother.
Our God.
Wow.
So give a big
Billboard
shout out
gave it to him. Yeah.
We were blessed to have him
Awesome
come
brother.
in
No.
to
Wow.
the session to arrange and keep it
He
the
was amazing.
vocalist.
And he's part of Zoe, right?
Oh,
He's part
yes,
of
he's
Zoe.
the musical director.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
He's getting ready
Awesome
to
man.
go out on tour
Awesome
for the
brother.
Christmas holiday, but he's a very humble
Mm-hmm.
man and a great writer. Big shout out to some of the singers like
Yeah.
Melanie Daniel, Charlotte Small, Anita Boone. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Anita is flying in all the way from Germany to be a part of this concert.
Yeah, it's gonna
we
be
are
great.
going to do it
I'm looking
because
forward
in
to
the name
that.
of
Yeah.
love.
I'm looking forward
In
to
the
it.
name
I
of
better make sure I
love,
make it then.
you know. And I was coming on my way here, guys, in humanity sake, and I heard on the radio they said, you know, sometimes people look just like you and you don't even know they're homeless, and that really touched me. Why do you think it's important for artists? I mean, we can ask anybody, and most of the people in churches or what have you, they do these things. But why is it important for artists to step up to the plate and give back?
You want to? It's very well. I see it. It's very important, you know. And I try to push this as much as I can with artists. It's important to give back to people what God has given to you. Not necessarily, like for instance, someone said to me, and I guess I was feeling some kind of way that day. They wanted me to do something and they didn't want to pay me. They was like, you should do it for free. You should give back. I said, I don't have nothing that belongs to you, so what would I be giving back? So, but I understand giving back what God gave to you. He
Yes.
didn't give it to you to be selfish.
No.
He gave it to you to share with the
Yes.
world and to share that love. This is why it's easy for you to bring us together, because you are a giver by nature.
Amen.
You are a giver. And when you are a giver, that means your hands are open to give and to receive.
Amen.
You know, and so that's why it's so easy for when you say, hey, Kenny, why don't you come? And I'm like, yeah, because I know what Barbara's doing. I know what she's about. I know she's a giver. It's not a selfish thing where she's giving. Not only are you getting an opportunity to do your thing, but you're giving an opportunity to be able to give back to people. Well, it's important for artists to do that,
Yeah.
you know, because what you put out, that's what comes back.
And you can't beat God's giving, because when
No
you're,
matter how hard you try.
how do you say, how do you say we're doing gospel house music and you pass a homeless person on the street? How do you say I'm
Impossible.
doing gospel house music and you're not at somebody's kitchen,
Right.
maybe helping? It just, my heart gets so
How
heavy.
can you love God whom you've never seen?
Hello.
And you don't love your brother and sisters that you see every day?
This is it.
It's
so
impossible.
You have to, because God is going to be the one who's going to open up the doors of success for you. But in the meantime, these are your seeds that you're
Yep.
planting. You are his vessel here. I believe all the artists are the vessels, because you're responsible for what your lyrics are saying.
Oh,
So
yeah.
even when people try to write for me, I can't sing that. I can't
Right.
deliver that. My heart is
Well, that's
not in
important.
that.
That's important.
And why is that important?
That is so important, because you don't want to be responsible for putting something out there.
Yeah, that
you
you
know what
don't
I'm
believe.
saying? That
Yeah.
you
You
can't
can't
just put
support.
anything out there.
Yeah.
Everything I just told my sons, you know, God has a law, and he created the laws of the universe. The universe has a law too. And whatever you put out there, you know, the universe hears that. It catches that. That's why it's always important to be positive. You don't want to portray something that's not
Authentic.
you. You know, if
Yeah.
it's not you, you don't want to
Authentic
push
to
that
you.
out there. You got to be careful.
Yeah, yeah.
You
You
gotta
You
be
know
able to
about
back
what
it
you
up. Yeah, you gotta
like
back
when
it
I
up.
when I write songs like Father was a prayer. It was a prayer. It started out as a prayer. It was a prayer because I was really going through something with my family. When I
Yeah.
say my family, I mean my church brothers and sisters.
Okay.
You know, sometimes it's not always your enemy that can give you the hardest time. Sometimes it's your family and the people that you love
Of course,
Yeah.
it's
that can
supposed
give
to
you
be.
the most difficult time.
Because you see that enemy,
Yeah.
but you don't know
And
it
you
in
don't
your own.
know, you know. And they were giving me a hard time about doing gospel house music in the club.
Okay.
And
They
I
didn't- they didn't
literally,
get it.
I had to pray. I was like, God, you gotta do something about this. You know, they're calling me stupid. They're calling me foolish. They said I'm on my way to hell. One woman looked at me and she told me, she said, you ought to be ashamed of yourself,
Lord, listen.
Wow.
taking Jesus to the club like
That's-
that.
Well, I
You know,
I thank
you
God
don't
for
preach to the
Zoe
converted, you
Ministries, because
preach to the-
my bishop is like, go on. We have one of our deacons, and I'm a deacon in church, who is a club artist. Give it up for him.
But let me just say,
and
though,
we have 2 minutes to go.
you preach to the not to the converted, but
Right.
unconverted,
Of course.
all right. So
See, they didn't
what
see
sense
that
does it make?
scripture.
Yeah. What sense does it make to be
That's
preaching to?
the thing.
Yeah.
They
Jesus
see
said, I
that
didn't come to
scripture.
heal those that were well, but those
And
that are
it's
sick.
okay. They was out that Sunday. They didn't see that because even we
Simple.
know Yeshua, we all know he hung out with the prostitutes.
Exactly.
And
I
that's
do
Jesus.
too.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Yeah. Hello, enjoying the music.
I tell you
Sing,
what,
twirl.
they talk junk to me, but they didn't refuse my tithe.
Hello.
Oh my God.
When I came off tour, they wanted that tithe and offering.
I know.
So
understand.
guys, we are getting ready to bring this down, and we're getting ready to bring DJ Q to do his
Oh, yeah.
thing. One more time, we want to give it up to Kenny Bobien
Love you.
and Keith. I'm getting ready to say Keith Stephen, one of my guys out in LA. Keith Thompson, and
Yes,
we
sir.
hope to bring back one day a full round table with all these house artists, and maybe do a pajama
It's
party.
important. That'll be great.
You know, I got a
A lingerie
right?
party.
Everybody in a pajama talking. You know, something different. You know, we want to thank you, and we're getting ready to hear you guys sing a little later for us, right?
Yes, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, something really
What
good.
do you want to hear?
Oh.
Let me tell you something.
Stand still, stay right there.
That word, that's what what do you all want to hear?
Somebody said, Father.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
we all got your back. We all
Yeah, we
singing
sing
with
back.
you. They got your back. We thank you.
We'll sing
we thank
background.
God for you.
We love you, Barbara. We do.
And I love you too. I thank God for both of you being brothers in our
Thank you for having
community of dance music. You need mentors. You need people who are in front who can tell you about experiences.
Yeah.
Go check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and get some knowledge. You already have the talent. I'm sure you got the talent, but we need to make sure we all know the business and the business of music.
Solar Music Group, look out, 2020. We
And what's the
coming.
artist's name? You didn't even mention that.
I never mentioned it.
Yeah, you need to say it. What's her name?
I'm not going to mention
Okay.
it.
See, he knows what he's doing. We'll see you on the dance floor. Where's Mr. DJ?
And I'm looking
Q?
for more artists.
Okay.
So where should they go?
Go to my Facebook, go to my Instagram. I am Kenny Bobien. Hit me up.
Okay.
That's right. We got Sony backing us, so come
All
on.
right,
The
that's
man.
awesome. Look, I might have to go over there. Big shout out to our DJ, our resident DJ partner,
Q.
DJ Q.
Cute.
From dancer to MC, writing it down, putting it down.
I love that
now we
brother.
gonna yes, and
I
we
love
do.
that brother. You are
crazy.
so
Yeah.
humble. I love him.
Crazy.
I
Q,
love
come
you,
on and say
man.
hi to the people. Grab a mic here.
Shy.
She always want me to say hello. Hello, everybody out there.
Yeah,
in
cute.
Music
Yeah,
land.
cute.
We are all house.
We
love 'em.
are all
House.
house.
get down to the rhythms of James Brown. Keep grooving to the band called Sack. Not taking no slack, don't parlay. Cause it's your day. Keep on stopping to the group of arcades, no lames. Insane to the funky man, Rick James. I live sexy things. As the brothers make you shout and sing. Sisters, listen. We are family, so get nasty. Woo! Wanna be a nasty girl? Better than six, just sex your world. Oh, funky family. You got to get down. Break it down like this. To the rhythms of James Brown. You got to get down. Break it down like this. To the rhythms of James Brown. You got to get down. Break it down like this. To the rhythms of James Brown. You got to get down. Break it down like this. To the rhythms of James Brown.
on out, come 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 on out. Can you hear me? Can you feel me? Come on now. We are all house. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. Whatever you gonna give me, are you gonna give me? You gonna give me, yeah. Right now, whenever dark is falling, you know the spirit of the party starts to come alive until the day is dawning. So you can throw out all your blues and hit the city lights, 'cause there's music in the air, lots of loving everywhere. Give me the night, baby. Everyone, give me the night. What? Woo! Give me the night. Come on now. You gon' give me the night. Yeah. 'Cause what? I'll house you. What? Yeah. I'll house you, baby, just like that. I'll house you. Give me, I'll house you one night and I'll house you. Give me the night. I'll house you just one, yeah. I'll house you. Oh, I'll house you. What? Come on, give me. Give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. Come on, give me, give me, give me. Come on, give me the night, baby, yeah. Give me a house, you, baby. Give me. Hey, I'll house you, baby. Just one night. Come on, give me. I'll house you, baby. Give me. I'll house you, baby. Come on. Just like that. I'll house you. Whoa. I'll house you. We are all house. Give me. Let me go. DJ Q. We gon' house him, right, Barbara? Go, Barbara. What? Go. What? Woo, woo. I'll house you, baby. Give me the night. Give me just one night, baby. Just one night, baby. Just one night, just one night. Just one night. Just like that. One night. Give me.
You know, I want to ask you something. Have you ever wondered why it is we love this music? I want to tell you a little story. See, all about me and my friends when we're going to the club. We get up in there every Saturday night, and it doesn't matter who the DJ is. It doesn't matter what the crowd looks like. But baby, every single time we get together, talking about having a good time with house music.
got funky tunes, baby. Only got funky tunes, baby. And kick ass, yes. Strangers in here tonight. Just friends, waiting tonight. You only got funky tunes, baby. And kick ass, yes. You only got funky tunes, baby. Only got funky tunes, baby. And kick ass, yes. Yes. Funky thing. Funky thing. Yes, yes. Just friends. Strangers in here tonight. Just friends, waiting for you. You only got funky tunes, baby. Only got funky tunes, baby. And kick ass, yes.
Yeah. cry, hear my call, answer me if you will, lest I fall. I've done everything that you told me to do, still they won't believe in you. They won't believe in me. That's what they tell me. Whoa. To this world I've been sent to tell a story of your power and of your glory. They laugh at me and tell me I'm insane, all because I proclaim your name, your name. They won't believe in it. Well, that's what they tell me. They won't believe in you, Father. Whoa. They won't believe now. That's what they tell. Oh, they won't believe me. No matter what I say, matter what I do. How can I love someone that I can't see? That's what they tell me. Well, you look like a fool. That's what they tell me. Oh, they say I'm insane, 'cause I proclaim your name. Your name. I proclaim your name. Please, Father, come down and help your children. Help your children. Ooh. We need you. Yeah, we need you. We need you. We need you. Yeah, 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 yeah. We please, Father, come on. We're asking you. We're begging you. Please come down. Please. We need you. We need you. We need you, Father. We need you, Father. Come on down and help your children. Help your children. Help your children. We need you. We need Father. children every day in every way. Yeah. Oh, oh, we feel, we feel, we feel, we feel, we feel every day, every way. We need you. Come on and help your children. We need you to help your children. Ooh, hey, help your children. Help your children. Help your children. Help your children.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. From Keith Thompson and Kenny Bobien. Yes.
Something about your body.
Come on, everybody. We are all house.
I don't want nobody, baby.
Say what?
There's something about your body.
Say what?
Ain't no nobody.
Talk about it.
I don't want nobody.
Say
I
what?
don't want nobody, baby.
Uh-huh.
There's something about your body.
Your body, baby.
Ain't no nobody.
Here we go, here we go. Come on.
I don't want nobody.
DJ Crew, rocking for your mind, your body, and soul. Hey! There's something about your body, baby. Oh, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. I don't want nobody but you. Something. Been thinking about your baby, baby. I want. Oh, something about the boy. Say what?
I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody, baby.
Say what? Want your baby, need your baby. Want your body, love your body.
Something about your body. Something about your body. Something about your body. Something about your body.
Woo! You are listening to the sounds of DJ Q. Funktion House, Brooklyn, baby. Bstar music group in effect.
Something about your body. Got me thinking of your body.
I don't want nobody.
Nobody.
No, no.
me. You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know me.
Battles wear you down. Here's my advice. Here
good over here, y'all. Why don't you have a mic? And when your world's falling apart, what you have to do is say a prayer. Love will save the day. Yeah. And there's an answer in your heart, so let your light shine on and on and on. Yeah. Love will save the day. Say what? Love will save the day. They can't hear you. Love will save the day. The love will. Yeah, yeah. Love is gonna. Love is gonna. Yeah, love will save the day. Let it breathe, y'all. I know it will save the day. Sometimes you're going through, don't know what to do, but I know you can believe in love. Oh, love will save the day. Reach in your soul. Come on. Forget your fear and frustration. See, love will always play the greater part. When your battles wear you down, here's my advice. Here's my advice. When you're feeling down and out, and you got trouble on your mind. Yeah, I love this. And when your world falling apart, all you gotta do is say a little prayer. See, there's an answer in your heart. I know you can make it. Yeah. See, there's an answer in your heart, because the love that shines in, love is gonna save it. Love is gonna save. Love is gonna save. Oh, if they say that love is God and God is love, then I know He will save the day. I know. There's love inside of you. It's inside of you. You're gonna win and you're gonna make it. And love is gonna save it. See, love is gonna save it. Say a little prayer for me. I'll say a little prayer for you. Deep inside your soul. I'm gonna give a shout out to Louis Vega. That's his mix. And we love Whitney Houston. Hey, 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 love will save the day. Yes, we are all house here. Every 2 weeks we are here. Next we will have Dr. Glenn Tovey, Sweetie G, and Kim Beecham, December 9th, y'all. Hey, 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 come on, Emery. Come get some of this.
Love will save the day. 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 Love will save it. Love will save it. It will save. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Love will save the day. Oh, if you don't believe that love will save the day, you better believe that love will save the day. You better believe love will save the day. You better believe that love will save the day.
He believes. DJ Q, Barbara Tucker, we are all house. We want to all wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. We're not finished, but a happy Thanksgiving, because God is love. This is our family here. We got turkey in the back, y'all. That's why everybody's in the back, because they're eating. Hey, hey, work the body. This is DJ Q's track on We Are All House. I Am House Records with Georgie Priority out of the Music Plant. Come on, work the body, y'all. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, build your body. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, build your body. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body. Bstar knows some steps to go. Twist that butt and work the floor. but we're going to keep the floor burning just a little bit more. Come on, Q. Drop the beat. We want to thank all those who made food for us tonight. Sabrina and Paris, Fred and Maury with them collard greens, y'all. Shout out to our manager, Louis Seville. Big shout out to Becky Holly Reed from the UK. DJ Saturday. Mimi Afro. And the one and only Dancer Saeed. We are all house crew family over in the UK and Europe. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, feel your body. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, feel your body. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, feel your body. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, feel your body. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, feel your body. Work the body, love somebody. Work the body, feel your body. Work the body, love somebody. Feel your body. Love somebody. Twist that body, work the floor. Work the floor. Work the floor. Twist that body, work the floor. Work the floor. Work the floor. Twist that body, work the floor.
Work the floor, work the floor. Twist that body, work the floor.
Work the body, feel your body. Work the body, feel your body. Work the body, feel your body. Twist that body, work the floor. 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 Oh yeah. We are all house. We are all house. We are all house. We are all house. We want to thank the Funktion House. Yes. Anthony and Michael, yes. Again, we want to thank Kenny Bobien. We want to thank Keith Thompson. Yeah. Big shout out to all the club heads, house heads everywhere. Feeling the soul, the vibe, and the spirit of the dance floor. Whether it be Afro, techno, EDM, gospel house, jungle house. Feel the rhythm of the house to make us all one big happy family, y'all. Ooh,
to the bass.
of Bstar Music's DJ Q for We Are All House, live at the Funktion House. Each and every, well actually twice a month, the second Monday and the fourth Monday, 8:30 to 10:30 Eastern Time. Brooklyn is in the house, but Jersey and New York City is representing. Have a safe Thanksgiving. Everybody, really. Go and help somebody. Go love somebody. Share some love. Thank you, everybody. Bstar Music. We are all house. All house. We are all house. Okay, we're going to give the DJ some. That's what we do. The DJ Q, you know he started off as a dancer, y'all. So this is how we got started. This is the song that introduced us. Come on, everybody. Give the DJ some. Get down and work and feel the song and work and do your dance, just work. Just feel the music, work. Just do your step and work. Just do your dance and cause we are all house. The singer, the dancer, the producer, the DJ. Somebody said don't trust a DJ unless he can dance. We want to thank everybody who brought something for the people to eat back here. Mama Maria Williams and Sabrina and Princess and Holly Brown, who's not here tonight. Imori with the Calling Greens, y'all. Hey! Go ahead. Come on. Hey, come on. He bring it back house style. That's house style. He brought it back to you. He took it back to the old house days, y'all. Hey, come on. Oh, and he's out, y'all. Give it up one time. DJ Q. MC, DJ, producer, remixer. Come on, Ezra. Come on and get some of this, Ezra. Come on. Ezra is our in-house percussionist, y'all. Keeps the beat, the rhythm, and the rhyme going. To move your feet, yeah. Hey, come on, Sabrina. All right, work that, Ezra. There's a spotlight for you, Sabrina, right there. Yes. Like American Bandstand, you got your own spotlight. The spotlight dance. Yeah, come on, Imori. So as we get ready to close and you zoom in on us, we want to thank everybody for coming down who was here. Thanking everybody for coming. Thanking our artist that was here. Kenny Bobien, thank you so much. Q, you got something to say?
I'm still trying to catch my breath.
I would like to say thank you to DJ Q. Y'all give it up for DJ Q. We love you, brother. One of the most humblest brothers that's doing it, and he's really doing it. I'm so proud of you. Thanks to Barbara Tucker. Yeah, and to the We Are House, We All Are House dancers. So we love you. We'd like to thank Mike and Anthony. Give it up for Mike and Anthony, y'all. Of the Funktion House. We love you. Thank you. We want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone who's watching here in America and overseas. We want you to know we love you. Thank you for having us here tonight. We give a shout out to Mr. Keith Thompson and to all of them. We want you to know that we love you here in house music. We are not just a community, but we are a family. And we are a family that welcome others into this family. And we love you very much, and we want to say happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you for allowing us to come in wherever you are, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. We love you. God loves you, and so do I. My name is Kenny Bobien. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. God bless you.
Okay, I guess now I finally caught my ear. I want to thank everybody, man, who come every other Monday to We Are House to watch us dance and have fun. I also want to thank all those that are behind the scenes, that feed us, that's taking names at the door, that don't get recognized much, but I recognize them. I want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all all. We are our house, y'all.
And we just want to send this prayer. May God bless each and every one of your houses. We thank God for touching our houses and touching our minds and touching us with love. And don't forget that on December 13th, we will be doing the We Can Heal House Choir. We will be doing this in honor of the Book Bank Foundation. The concert is, again, December 13th. We have Sharon, Tony, we have Veronica, Evans here, that they have tickets, or you can hit us behind the scenes on our Facebook pages. And then we, on the 15th, will be going to various shelters, the boroughs in New York City, bringing coats and toys for the kids, and donations, funds, and everything, really. Love and ministry. We want to thank Glenn Toby of the Book Bank Foundation for bringing this to us, that we can all be community, because you can't just be an artist and a singer and dancer and give me, but you don't put anything out in the community. We are all somebody in this world. No one is bigger than the other. That's why we say we are all house. The dancer, the singer, the producer, the DJ, we're all equal, because it takes us all to make a party happen. That's what We Are All House is about. Peace and love. We love you. God bless you. We thank you, God, for this day. Let love continue. Well, happy birthday to all the Sagittarius.